I started framing up the house, which is going to be its own video. But while I was taking apart the house, I found some treasures here and there, and there's too many of them to put in the initial video. So I'm posting just a little bonus video with all the treasures I found. And then I'm going to be coming back with, I'm going to say season 2, when I start framing the house and start actually building the house. So everything before has been the demo, and after this video, everything moving forward will be building back up. So I'm really excited about it, but enjoy this video about all the treasures I found. Found a newspaper all rolled up, kind of lining the bottom of this baseboard. It's kind of cool. Finally found something with a date, 1953. Found a couple more treasures in the wall. This is very pretty, but unfortunately I don't have where it's from, but it's very nice. And this is a really old style butter knife with this rounded edge. It's really cool. I can only assume this was a game night gone wrong. And to prevent future fighting, they hid the game really well. This has been nailed like directly. Like what was this accomplishing? That it needed to be nailed. This is so weird. This was in the ceiling, and it looks to me like a version of a corset. So these would be the ribs of it, and then this is the front bit, and all the ribs would go into those little channels. It was in a mouse nest up there, and it smells great. I found all of these, which are clay pipes, which are pretty interesting. And they have this stamp on them. This is the only one that was intact. There we go. Here's one with a more clear printing of it. And by the looks of it, I think they're the same. There's a lot of spots like this where the wood is a bit like doesn't match, and it's throughout the whole house, so you see. And I just thought, oh, that's fine, but this is where the pipes and the corset were found. This was a little secret spot, and there's pieces here to hold the door down, and then they can just cover it back up. So they were hiding stuff under the floorboards. I found my treasure. So I found this letter in the wall, and it's on the side where all the pipes and stuff were, but it was like right up against the wall. Super gross. It has a nice little flower seal, and I can't fully read it, but I think it says Cummingham It doesn't look like in terrible condition, so hopefully I'm able to open this really carefully and see if I can read the letter that's here. This is really cool. I did find another letter as well, but it was like all torn up. So this is for Mr. C. Cunningham. Dear friend, after I'm gonna have to like write out the words that are easy to read, because the writing is very tough. And then it goes on to this side as well. So the love letter was found in here, and this section here, that is where the little holes on the other side of the floorboard, like those floorboards, those gray ones, come up. And that's also kind of the area, although I found the pipes and the corset over here, and the holes here, and the love letters here. But this section, very exciting part of the house. So I have the letter and I'm gonna write it out and see what words, because I can't like just read it out. There's some words that are kind of missing or just hard to read. They're not missing, they're just hard to read, or they're covered by the red stuff that's on here. Yeah, so I'm gonna write it out, and I thought better use a feather pen because it's more fun that way. And then we'll find out what this letter says. Okay, so there's all these blanks where there's words that I couldn't quite decipher. I think there's a lot of spelling mistakes as well, which has made it hard. And I'm gonna come back to this. But right now I've concluded, I don't think this is a love letter. I think this is an angry letter that never got sent. And by the sounds of it, I'm gonna keep playing with it to see if I can get it a little closer. But by the sounds of it, the guy who this letter is for led on the girl who this letter is from. And she's mad about it. When I opened the letter, it was sealed. It was a sealed letter. It's also not signed, and it doesn't sound like it's finished being written. Like I couldn't read the last sentences, but it didn't feel finished. But I'm gonna leave it for now and come back to it because it's hard to decipher. Updates to come. Okay, so right up there in this section here, I've cleared it all out, and it was just full of that gunk and crap. And this paper here is the stuff that I found that looks of value, which I'll get to. But I found this, which is a collar for when men wore like tuxedos, they would wear a stiff collar like this. And this is really cool. I used to work on the show Murdoch Mysteries, so we'd have replicas of these, but this is like from the actual time. I also found another envelope looking thing, and I'm gonna see if it's like another letter or something. This doesn't look very promising though. Empty envelope. Sad. And then and it looks like it has handwriting from the same person who wrote the letter. And then this is also something from the same person who wrote the letter. But again, I don't think this is a letter, so I'll have to translate that. But I found this newspaper with the date, September 17th, 1870, was up in that wall. That's so cool. I'm excited. There's like all this paperwork. I'm not going to keep all of it, but I'm going to sift through it and learn stuff about it. But I love finding stuff like this. So this room has been full of treasures because the pipes and stuff were up there. But that was from the bedroom upstairs. But yeah, I have a couple more walls to take down on this side. And then also in here, there's a deeper cavity down there. So I'm like, what's over there? Hopefully gold. We'll see. They had every opportunity to hide gold up here and they didn't take it. How annoying. Oh well. I'm vacuuming up underneath my stairs here because I'm going to pour some concrete to just, the foundation is falling apart a little bit. But it used to be tradition that under the threshold of a home, you'd put a penny. So I found this penny. It's a 1 cent coin from the United States. This is actually the second one that's been found. The other one my aunt found outside, and it's more legible. It was from 1856. I'll have to double check it. But this one looks pretty old as well, kind of same style. And I'll have to see if I can't really see the year on it, but I'll have to clean it up. So this letter that I found in the wall turned out to be an angry love letter. And based on the research that I did, there's some books in the area about when the stone houses were built in the area, the different families that have been here. Like my family's been here since 1856, so my family history is in that book. But based on the letter, based on who owned my house, so the first people that built my house, they built in 1861 and 1870, but then they sold it in 1880, and then the family that had it in 1880 until I bought it, it was all in the same family. So based on that, the person who wrote this letter wrote it between 1870 and 1880, which is really cool. So I had my friend do kind of a dramatic, my friend's an actor, and I had her do a dramatic reading of the letter just for fun. I thought it would be cute. So enjoy.
Dear friend, after waiting until I could control my feelings so as to write, I have at last succeeded. But memory goes back touring to hours when you were in my society. Hours that have fled, like moments when I believe you loved me. But Charlie, how the very sound of your name hurts my very soul. The dream's past, and I awake to fact. I am the victim of a terrible delusion. You love another, and alas for me. Why did you ever tell me you loved me and gained my affections only to cast them aside? When I love you almost to madness. 'Tis true we may never meet again. We are doomed to be separated from each other. I am almost crazy at the thought of being separated from you, the one I built my future happiness on. But I must only put all my trust in the Lord that he will keep my mind stayed on him and preserve me from future deception. You will be happy with the other.
Those are all the treasures I found in my house while taking it apart. Right now I'm working on putting it back together, kind of from scratch. So the cement was the last thing we saw get put in. now I'm working on framing. It's going to take a while. I am framing basically on my own. I'm getting help here and there, but for the most part I'm doing a lot of it myself, and I'm learning as I go. So it'll probably be a while till the next video, but I hope you enjoyed this little treasure hunt that I went on, and I'll see you in the next one.